Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. It's not very bright over on Instagram. Good morning, Claire. Happy Wednesday. Yes, good morning. I'm running a little bit late, and I was a bit like rushing to get here because I was too busy doing other things. Anyway, how was your July 4th? Any Americans that are watching or do watch? Yes. Anyway, I hope you've done a little check-in with yourself this morning, and just checked in on yourself and giving yourself a little like body scan, like how are you feeling physically, how are you feeling emotionally, how are you feeling mentally, maybe even spiritually. These are the things that you need to check in with yourself before you jump out of bed and leap into life. These are the things that we sack off when time is precious, when we feel under pressure to get stuff done. Like, I've got loads of work to do, I literally have, but it would be so easy for me to sacrifice those few minutes of where I meditate and I move my body and, maybe write in my journal, and just check in on myself and give myself a few minutes meditation. It would be easy, right, to just go, I haven't got time for that. And that is the shit that you absolutely need to make time for, so that the other things that you've got to do flow easier for you. Does that make sense? I'm sure it does. I was talking I posted on Facebook about, and I said about this yesterday, that, or Monday even, like, it's half the year is already gone, and not going into the second half of this year thinking, I put a bit more light in here, all wishy-washy, basically taking an evaluation of, doesn't even show any light. Oh my God, what's going on? That's better. There's a little bit more light. Without any, looking at how the first half of the year has served you. So it's kind of like doing that reevaluation. And, so many people don't get started with the thing that they want to do because of fear. Worrying about their job, their business, all of this security that we've created for ourselves, all of this comfort that we've created for ourselves, that we're told and we're fed that this is what you need, this is what your life should look like. And we get into this position where we've got a job or we've got a business or whatever it is, and therefore then we grip a hold of that so tightly, we just go so scared to let it go, even though we don't feel fulfilled, we don't feel alive. And I work with a lot of people, and over the last few years, I've come across so many people that don't feel like life is literally running through their veins. Like, they don't feel like they're just not lit up. And you meet these people, and you must know it when you meet these people, that they are a shell of themselves. And I don't have to know people very well to know when someone's a shell of themselves, to know when someone's holding back. And I meet a lot of people like that, and it makes me feel really sad. And I meet so many creative and beautiful people, and they are not living to their full potential. They're not living their best life. And we have all of these raw feelings, and these raw feelings are messages to ourselves. Everything that we're feeling is a message. It's either a message that something's really great or something's really wrong. Like, it's a bit like when we're sad. Like, sadness is a signal to you, that feeling that something's not right. And you have to learn to listen to that and understand that, getting curious about yourself. Breathwork. I did a breathwork class last night. Oh my God, it was incredible. Like, I love delivering breathwork. It just blows my freaking mind that I get to deliver it and people have this, like, almost this experience. One woman messaged me this morning saying, I was just trying to find the quote, that she said she felt like she was in another dimension, and she saw all of these beautiful, colorful lights. I always say, like, you can get high off your own air supply just by breathing. And that is basically what can happen by shifting your state of consciousness. But one of the greatest byproducts of breath work is It helps you connect on a deeper level to you. You can go to your deeper level of resources that you just can't tap into ordinarily. And, understanding your feelings and your emotions a bit better and listening to your gut more, your instincts more. And a lot of people want to do that, but don't know how to do it. And I'm telling you, slowing the fuck down, getting some silence, some solace, some breathwork and meditation, those are things that are actually massively going to help you connect with yourself on a deeper level. Because, and it's important to remember, that you are the best solution for you. Not me, not your buddies, not your partner, not your job or your manager or your line manager or whoever. You are the best solution for you. But you have this amazing ability to know what you need, but you have to find a way to tap into it. Does that make sense? If you're here this morning, please say good morning. One of the other beautiful things about breathwork last night, I just got to tell you this, we had a new person come last night, a new lady came last night, and at the end of it, she said she just had this beautiful clarity around something that she'd been flip-flopping about, indecision, and it just all came through for her, and she knew exactly what she had to do, and she couldn't believe that she'd been in this complete wrangle, right? It gives you clarity. Imagine having that ability with yourself, because sometimes I get trapped in a little decision making, and it happened the other day, and I just went upstairs and I laid down on my bedroom floor and I did some breath work. I just breathed on it. And it can shift shit. So talking and coaching is fantastic, but it isn't enough on its own. This is what I've found, and this is why I bring life and breath together. But anyway, back to you. How can you make the second half of this year better than the first half? Or maybe the first half was amazing and you just want to, carry that forward into the second half of the year. And that's really important. But you have to stop and evaluate. And like I was saying before, so many people live in fear. Fear, whatever your fear is, fear. A lot of people, sometimes I've held myself back because of fear of judgment, fear of my own insecurities, around not being smart enough, educated enough, can't speak eloquently enough, not having enough wisdom. That's really been a really big one for me. And breathwork has really helped me tap into my worth, my value, and me accepting myself and really listening to what lights me up, what brings me joy, because we're here for a short time, but yet a really long time in some ways. And we all deserve to reach our full potential. And I promise you, you might feel that you're there right now, but no way are you. No way are you reaching your full potential, because it really takes some work and some pushing and a community and a group of people to help you see that, to hold the mirror up to you and help you look behind the mirror to see actually what lies behind it. Me doing the Happy Place podcast was like a real wake up moment for me, because I got chosen to do that out of thousands of people. And it was a really good little nudge from the universe for me to go, you're good enough. You're good. Now, some people might not agree with that. That's fine. That's their opinion. Not everyone can agree like these things, but it was a real good signal for me from the universe that, yeah, I'm worthy. I've got things to say that can help people. And off the back of that, I've had so many messages, which has been wonderful. And if you've been one of the ones that sent me a message, I really appreciate every one of them. And I hope that I've got back to you. I've done my best to get back to everybody. So there are signs for you too. There are signs for you too that what you should be doing or what you should be leaning into more. And it's those things that give you that spark, that make you laugh, that bring you joy, that when you finish doing it, you're elevated, you're buzzing, your energy is all over the place. Like last night, when I finished breathwork, delivering the breathwork class, I did a live on Instagram, and it's in my stories. And go and see my energy, right? Go and check. Like, I am buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing that I get to deliver that and help people have the experience that they had. Like, it's bonkers. And then there's some, I don't know if they're probably still on my stories or maybe in some reels on Instagram, but when I've done the sessions with my Breaking Your Own Limits group, and these people have had this amazing transformation, they've shown up for themselves, they've tapped into themselves, and they're rediscovering themselves. When I come off of those sessions, I get the same kind of feeling. My energy is super high. I feel super alive. That is the stuff that lights me up. And that's the stuff I need to be doing more of. So my question to you is, what do you need to be doing more of? Where are these clues to the things that you should be leaning into? Because these things that make you feel energized and elevated, these are the things that make you feel alive. And these are the things that are going to help you feel more fulfilled about life and more content about life. Now, not every day is going to be an amazing day. Some days it ain't for me. But do you want to feel good more of the time than not, right? Of course we do. So learning to find what lights us the fuck up and learning to making more value of the second half of the year than perhaps you've done in the first half of the year means that you've got to tap into you. You've got to lean into you, listen to yourself and find ways that you can do that. Like I said, meditation is a really great way. I have some meditations over on YouTube and I need to record some more. There's a beautiful one around joy, meditation for finding your joy. I'd recommend that one. And whatever it is, silence is a great thing that we don't have much of these days, right? Because we're always on our phones. We're addicted to our phones. I know that I have this addiction to my phone, and every now and again, I just have to leave it at home and I have to really force myself. If you know someone who's an addict of maybe something else, drugs or alcohol, and you cannot understand it, go put your phone down for 24 hours and see how you feel. You'll be craving it. You'll be wanting to pick it up. Most of us do. That is addiction, and it's freaking horrible. But we have so many distractions, TV, podcasts, media, all kinds of hobbies. Our phone's our biggest distraction. We don't get enough time on our own. We don't get silence. Go be bored with yourself and see what that feels like. Like, I mean, if you don't like being on your own, what does that say about you? Does that mean you don't like yourself as a person? You don't like hanging out with yourself? Maybe you haven't done it enough to get used to it, to like it. Like, I've lived on my own and been on my own for 4 years, and I bloody love my own company. Can you say that about yourself? And this is how we learn about ourselves, by spending time alone and getting curious about who we are and what we like to do. And the way that you're going to find things that light you the fuck up is to look for the clues. The second part of that is to try new stuff. Try new things. Go out and just do something random. And if the universe offers you something, don't ignore it. And by that, I mean things like learning to go with the flow. Like the year before last, my word for the year was flow. And then I had to go with the flow because was it year before? Last year, sorry. My word of the year was flow, sorry. And I had to learn to go with the flow, especially when I became really unwell and I had to have these heart procedures and all of this stuff and scans and tests done. I had no choice but to go with the flow, right? The flow is what the universe sometimes puts before us or nudges us to do. And quite often, because we're not tapped into our intuition, we don't really believe in ourselves, we don't trust ourselves, we ignore it. And these can be little things. Now, I have a lot of flexibility with my work. I hope that you do. I've done that by choice, and I feel really lucky that I do, right? And today, an opportunity presented itself. If you go to the Happy Place podcast, or I'm going to be releasing a podcast on, I think it's Monday. I need to check the date. It's the one I did on a live yesterday on Instagram. And I've got a longer version of my kind of life story, where I talk about, not wanting to live anymore. God, I've lost my train of thought. I keep doing this. Oh, what is happening? It will come back. Don't worry. It always comes back. Sometimes a minute, sometimes two. Aisling is saying, I grew up as an only child. I know plenty about being bored with myself. I crave time alone. I love that, right? Yeah. I think only children do know what it's like, and I crave it sometimes too, Aisling. I really do. Like, I just want to be on my own. But I never used to. I was a very scared, frightened child. And I used to sleep with my fingers in my ears and be literally scared of sounds in the dark. And I was terrified of being on my own. And this went right through to my 20s. And I talk about this in the podcast I'm about to release. which goes a bit more in depth into my story. So some of the stuff that on the Happy Place podcast that wasn't released, I've done an episode on my own podcast, and I used to be so scared of being on my own. Even like I said, into my late 20s, I was frightened of the dark and I was frightened of being on my own. And now I freaking love it because I've learned to trust me. I know me. I feel safe with me. And I know what is for me comes my way. I know what I was going to say now. I'm going back. So something came up this morning, and an opportunity to go to something, an organization that supports people around who've experienced suicide or ever felt suicidal or anything like that. And they're doing a whole day around Brighton today. And I live near Brighton, and I'm actually going to get my hair cut today, which is quite traumatic for a Black person because you're just scared of someone's going to fuck it up. They know, and you feel like they never do it right. But I have hope and faith today. So I have that flexibility around the job that I do. So I just thought, the universe has gone, here you go. There's all these things happening today throughout Brighton for this organization. Go support it. You've been there, you know what it feels like, and come out the other side. So I'm just going to go. I can feel like the universe is just giving me something to flow with and to nudge me into go into something else. I have the space and I have the time. So I'm going to go and do that. And it's things like that you might well go, oh no, I haven't got time for that. Or no, do I really need to do that? Sometimes the universe is just putting things under your nose. And oftentimes we ignore it. And the universe will keep, or the world, whatever you believe in, will keep giving you the same thing until you learn your lesson or until you take what it is on offer for you. This is why we have the same relationship over and over again, because the universe is giving you a freaking lesson. When are you going to learn it? The universe is like, when are you going to learn? Good morning. Good morning. It's Trisha. Good morning, Trisha. How are you this morning? Loving my own company. I'm learning so much about myself at the minute. This is the thing, right? This is the beauty of having your own company. This is where you will learn the most about yourself, by being alone and getting curious. When I run the Breaking Your Own Limits program, there's a few weeks in it where we completely focus on self-awareness. And that self-awareness is wrapped up in curiosity. That's how we learn to get to know ourselves, by tuning into ourselves, spending time alone. And we start to build this self-awareness of how we're acting, how we're behaving, how we're showing up. And then the byproduct of that then goes on, that then you start to become more aware and curious about your friends, your family, your job. And you start to have a little bit more empathy, sympathy, and compassion for other people that you're connected to. That element of that program is super bloody brilliant. And if you want to join that program, it starts in September. You can go to my website, which is sam-adams.com /feel alive, which is the link for the program that starts in September. Good morning, Sam. The universe must be heard. Yeah, I love that, Trisha. The universe must be heard. I guess it must be. It's a more this is the thing that I think that is bonkers, right? Is like most people think that we are powerful and we have all of these possibilities and opportunities to do great things. We really do. But the most powerful thing of all is the universe. Like, you can't, it's undeniable. It's science, it's factual. It has been going for billions of years. And all of these planets are around us and surround us and are pushing us. And we have the gravitational pull of the moon, and the sun can burn us from hundreds of thousands of miles away. This stuff blows my mind. There is greater forces at play than you and I. So if these things, and there's no coincidences, right? This is like I think with the Happy Place podcast and everything like that, it was meant for me. It was either meant for me to show me that, yes, I'm greater than I think I am. And I don't mean that in an egotistical way. I've been suffering with a lot of self-doubt about, do I have enough wisdom and inspiration to be getting on bigger stages and bigger platforms? And the universe goes, here you go. And it's helped me believe more in myself. And then I got offered the opportunity to speak at the Happy Place Festival. Here you go. Like, the universe is always nudging you and showing you, but are you paying attention? Sam says you can't escape the universe. No, you cannot. We are part of it. Good morning. Anyway, how are you this morning? Claire says, holidaying alone was a breakthrough for me. Love spending time alone. It's where I grow that little bit deeper. I love that. I love that, Claire. And I did Costa Rica on my own for a whole month last year. And somebody actually messaged me. It was Dame Kelly Holmes, by the way. Just a little name drop there. She said, "Oh, did you find yourself in Costa Rica?" But I actually didn't find myself in Costa Rica. You know, I had already found myself, but it did deepen my connection to me. Being alone definitely deepens your connection to you. You know, I've become more creative. I write poetry. I write words. I'm creating my first book at the moment, which is all words and poems for life. It's quite deep, some of it. And, you know, I've started playing the ukulele, which is amazing. You know, I write so much more than I ever did. And I entertain myself. And this is how you learn what really lights you up, right? Um, Sam is saying, love that bear travel, love travel. I really want to holiday alone. Everyone should holiday alone. I'm telling you, I have done it more than once. I've been to Lanzarote many times, but Costa Rica was the big trip for me going on my own. Everyone should do it at least once in your life. Do at least a couple of weeks if you can, or lots of short little trips. And there is no one else to please but yourself. You don't have to get the opinion of someone else to go, should we go to this coffee shop? Should we have this lunch? Should we do this walk? Should we do this? Yada, 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 yada. No, you just got to fucking answer to yourself. Most people don't even know how to ask themselves, to listen to themselves and tune into themselves and give themselves what they need. But holidaying alone, spending time alone will massively help you with that. Massively. And, you know, learn to be bored on your own. When I grew up, we had no phones, only a few channels on the TV. There was no internet. We had to go out and entertain ourselves. We built go-karts. We climbed trees. We went scrumpying for apples and shit like that. We probably read more, although I didn't read a lot more until I got into my 20s. But I did stuff. I just went on bike rides, like I didn't have a phone. I just went out on my bike and cycled out in the country and walked, and just simple, basic things. And, you know, this is the things that we have lost. And these are the things, and I honestly believe this is why we don't have so much connection in the world right now, is because we have all of these distractions and people are not first and foremost connected to themselves. And if you're, and by the way, thank you for everyone that's watching or listening to this. This is going out on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube, but it's also going to go out on my It Starts With You podcast. Please go check that out. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you. Please like and subscribe and even share. I would really, really appreciate that. Trisha says, I'm dating myself at the moment. Intentional time on my own. I love that. I freaking love that. Intentional time on my own, right? This is what we need to cultivate. You need to cultivate for yourself. So if, you know, letting go of this fear about truly living, like I have a big thing about truly living. And truly living means you have to truly feel. And to truly feel, that means you have to know you. And this is where the work of self begins, connecting with yourself, finding what lights you to fuck up and learning to let go of the fear. Because there is a risk to everything. And we're so judgmental of other people. Oh, why are they taking that risk? Why are they out there doing that? What, you know, who are they to be doing this? You know, look at people like trees. And there's a really great quote, and I can't remember the name of the man that said it. But if you went out into the forest, like when I was in Costa Rica, the trees blew my mind. Like I'd never seen trees like it before. I went out to the cloud forest in Monteverde, and it was just an incredible sight. Every tree was different. Some trees were bendy and gnarly, and some were really upright and erect, and they're all reaching for the light and the sun. And some have had to bend a different way to connect to the sun and to get the light and to find the light. How about if we looked at people like that? Like I didn't judge those trees for that. They were just doing what they needed to do to find the light, to be as tall and erect and grow as much as possible. Why can't we be like that about humans? Like we're all the same, just trying to find the light and trying to find the fucking way. And let's just see everyone as like the trees, completely individual, completely unique. And find that for yourself. Where is the light for you? Sounds a bit like religious, but I don't mean like find the light. I mean, find what lights you up, what gives you the buzz, what makes you feel alive, like life is running through your veins. I'm going on a bit this morning, but you need to do that work. And one way you can start doing that is spending time alone, meditating, breath work, getting outside in nature. And if you want to go deeper, come look at the Breaking Your Own Limits program. Like I said, the subtitle to that is working through your crap. And the crap is an analogy for confidence, relationships, awareness, and purpose. We start with awareness, then we go to confidence, then we go to relationships, and finally we go to purpose. And it is an amazing program. And I don't often brag about what I do, but I finally feel like this is one of the most amazing things that I've done with my work. Every person that went through this, who's just finished it, has transformed their life. And just to see how these people are now showing up is absolutely phenomenal. And I'm so grateful that I got to be the person to help them on their way, just like some of you, like Claire, who's here today. I know, Claire, like, you've massively changed your life, and I'm so fucking proud of you, and I'm so happy for you to do that, because life is relentless. The days trip by, and before you know it, a decade has gone. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and we realized that we hadn't connected for 5 years. And that is just like, fuck, where has the time gone? Life is relentless. What are you waiting for? Start today. Just do, if you did one small tiny action today, eventually, and you did that every day, eventually one will catch and it'll take off in your trajectory and will change. But you don't know which one it's going to be. So just do one small thing every day. Right, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to wrap it up for this day. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I appreciate every one of you. Claire says it's amazing. 100% recommend. I'm assuming you're talking about my program. Claire did my deep dive program. I've got a new one called Breaking Your Own Limits, which I promise you, Claire, is even better. It's got more structure to it, and 4 areas that we work on. And it just blows my mind how these people have transformed their lives. And I love it. And it lights me up. And that's what lights me up. Claire is saying, thank you, lovely. With your help, I found me. You're so grateful. And I'm grateful to you for trusting in me and doing the program. Right, I'm going. Have yourself an amazing non-refundable day. Remember, you can't get it back round again. You can't rerun today. So give it. It's not about being fake, but give it as best you can. If you need help and you're feeling sad or something's troubling you, please lean into that and share that with other people. People want to help you. I want to help you light the fuck up and live the best life that you possibly can. And remember, it starts with you. Have yourself a great day. Thank you for listening.